Mr. Sergeant would have already laid the foundation for today's proceedings, so I'll just go further and permit me to just highlight a few of our achievements from the Department of Marine Resources for the year 2023. We had a Reef Check Guardian certification for 2 of our staff members. We had training in fisher assessment and data program modeling in Barbados for a staff member. We had training in sustainable use of fisheries resources in livelihoods on Smile Island states, Japan, 1 staff member. We had a safety at sea training for over 80 participants. And we had fisher consultation throughout the island. Challenges for 2023, budgetary constraints, loss of traps for fishers, data collection, landing site upkeep and maintenance, and the registration and deployment of FADs. Please note that this work plan does not illustrate all of our activities for 2024, but rather it highlights those specific areas based on our challenges in 2023, making them the subject of particular focus in 2024. Activity 1, collection of data from landing sites and analysis of data for 2024. We have in our possession now a program which we call Fisheries Manager. This program will enable us in our decision making, problem solving, understanding, improving techniques, and understanding stakeholders. In our aquaculture, we have seamoss production. We all know that once ago, seamoss used to be a prime source of income and other uses in terms of drinks and that kind of thing on the island. The reality is, currently, our stock is depleted. We have already identified a source for seedlings in 2024. So we plan to make that a key and stable product to enhance the resiliency and sustainability of our production. In terms of aquaculture also, fish, shellfish, prawns, cultivation, that also would be a part of our agenda for 2024. Mr. Sergeant has promised us some lands that will be made available for this production in 2024. There is never too much training, and in 2024, we will continue our safety at sea training in terms of communication, that's radio, navigation, the use of GPS, compass, etc. Because we believe that no fisher, once they have the proper training and equipment, should be lost at sea. Also, we'll have fisher training in other areas as longline fishing, fad fishing, vertical fishing. Fad fishing is basically using what we call a fish aggregate device, where that is deployed at sea. What happens is that the smaller fish would be attracted to this device, and then the larger fish like the mahi-mahi, the tuna, the marlin, they would come around these devices and feed around these fish. So part of 2024 is that we plan to deploy many more FADs. The FADs that we had before were floating fads. But we had an issue of persons cutting off the ropes, and the ropes also being cut by ships. So what we plan to do is we're going to do some submerged fads, basically. Where the fads will be under the water, we'll attract the fish. Fish pot making workshop. This is a collaboration with the Department of Gender Affairs, where participants will be taught the skill of cutting, shaping, and the construction of fish pot. Combating ghost fishing. Ghost fishing is a big issue which we have on the Federation. It is basically traps that have become lost, abandoned, and discarded. And what happens is that these traps continue to catch fish. The fish die in the traps, more fish is attracted to them. So the process continues. So what we plan on doing for that is introducing a biodegradable twine that will be attached to the door of the trap, and after a period based on the soaking time, that twine will disintegrate and the trap door will fly open. And what will happen then is that the fish will be able to swim in and out of the traps. For that, let me just give you an example. For 2023, we had approximately 100 traps that were lost. If each trap averaged 8 pounds of fish monthly, that brings us to 800 pounds of fish per month. 800 pounds of fish at roughly $10, that gives us $80,000 monthly. 8,000, sorry, times 12 give us roughly $96,000 a year, which will be lost to fishers, and also it decreases our fish stock. So you see why the introduction of this biodegradable twine would be so important. In terms of our marine management unit, we plan to install some artificial reefs. These artificial reefs will be made from conch shells. So we're embarking on a project with the scuba divers, the conch divers, that when they take these conchs from these shells, that they bring the shells to the shore. What we'll do is that we're going to make some cages, and we're going to place these conch shells within the cages. So what happens is that these would act as nurseries for juvenile fish, lobsters, and other reef species. Protection and conservation of our marine protected areas. This is protection of rare and threatened species and their habitats. Additionally, for the protect coastline by acting as natural barriers for waves and tropical cyclones. One of our marine management area is at the bottom of Nelson Spring. If you are there recently, you could see the work that has been done to that area. However, one of the problems that we face there is persons should not go there to remove the species within the area. But we have had some problems of persons going there to remove the fish. So what we have done thus far is we have erected some signs, and for this year, we plan to get the enforcement aspect of it into play. Landing site cleanup. It is our intention to have clean areas free of debris that can be hazardous to marine life, fishers, and other users. And let me just say, I would just like to thank the PS and our minister, especially during the months of March to September, where we have that influx of sargassum and the beaches that need cleaning. And we never had any problem with the PS or the minister saying, utilize whatever resources necessary. So I thank them for that. Turtle monitoring. This we would liaise with the Nevis Turtle Group to determine the number and species of nesting turtles. Vessel inspection and licensing. We are hoping that by March 34th, all seaworthy vessels would be licensed. Fisher ID registration. We have a situation where no ID for fishers were received since about 2016. So hopefully 2024 will be the year that all our fishers will receive that ID. My next screen will show some activities based on organizations for 2024. Our special mention, our Fish Festival, which will be held in June. So I'm taking this as an early invitation to everyone to come on down to the NASPA grounds in Charlestown on June 7th. Right, Melissa? Yeah. Okay. And that's the end of my short presentation. I would just like to say, we at the Department of Marine Resources would just like to thank all who have partnered with us for 2023. And we look for your continued support for 2024 and beyond. Thank you.